we're just not compatible, or we're just not meant to be. I don't think they're right for me. These are some of the phrases that I've heard as a relationship coach. We can have moments of second guessing whether this relationship is worth pursuing because we think that there's some sort of compatibility problem between us and our partner. We see problems arise and not get resolved. So we have these moments of panic and worry and stress, thinking to ourselves, are we even compatible? So in this video, I want to break down the myth of compatibility and explain why it's so deceptive and what can be done instead. So in a relationship, problems arise all the time, and there can be many, many challenges from external influences, from internal influences within the relationship, from people around us, from job situations. And during the relationship, we experience the way our partner and ourselves handle these challenges along the way. And as these challenges come and problems aren't solved or fully resolved, we find it difficult to talk about them, we can start to lose faith in the relationship and start to think to ourselves, why am I doing this? Why am I still putting in this effort when my partner isn't putting in the effort? And this negative feedback loop becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is where in our mind, we start to then question the compatibility between ourselves and our partner. So as these disagreements escalate, conversations lead to less resolutions and more hurt. And these emotional discords become bigger and bigger. And then you can start to question the whole relationship. All of the good stuff that happened at the start can start to fade away into the distance, and all those dreams and hopes you had for the relationship and the potential of it can start to feel like maybe it was a lie, maybe I was fooled, maybe none of it was true in the first place. And then you can start to question your own judgment when you question whether you actually have the ability to judge a situation, to judge people. We can suffer from confirmation bias. So confirmation bias is where we look for evidence of our own thoughts. So when we see a relationship heading in maybe the wrong direction, our mind will start to look for evidence that this is the wrong relationship, that this is not compatible. And we'll start to ignore all of the times when we overcame challenges and start to look for all of the times we didn't overcome challenges. And then start to look forward for more problems. So when we feel sad, we feel upset, we feel hurt by a partner, we can start to look for more evidence for us to feel hurt, for us to feel upset, and for us to maybe start to pull away from the relationship because we're looking for signs of incompatibility. And then this creates this negative feedback loop. So it's important to recognize that cycle, because once you start to not believe in the relationship, then that will also influence your partner, and your partner will start to feel that way. And then eventually all of these discords build up, they don't get resolved, and you end up on the verge of divorce or separation or splitting up. So when challenges do come up, they are important to overcome, and it will take time to build this compatibility. And especially if things have started to head in the wrong direction, it's even more important to step in and start preemptively doing this. But losing hope and losing faith in your relationship is actually going to have the biggest impact on it, because if you start to feel that, then that will start to reflect on the way that you speak with your partner. So we're sold this romanticized idea that relationships should be easy and compatibility is a prerequisite for a good relationship. And that's the thing that we look for at the start, right? We look for this good match for us. And that's the problem, is that we enter these relationships looking for someone who is already pre-built, already pre-made, and that there is not going to be any challenges within the relationship. All these challenges are going to be minor. But the problem comes from the fact that challenges will always happen. And as you get to know someone on a deeper level and you start to cultivate that intimacy, you'll start to understand more and more of their flaws, more and more of their things that they need to work on, things that they maybe have never admit to someone, things that you are shocked to find out, and start to lay some seeds of doubt in your mind. And those seeds over time start to grow and start to germinate into full-blown plants if you're not careful. But the key thing is that compatibility is cultivated. You're always going to be two separate people, raised in two completely different ways, in different cultures, in different environments, with different communication styles, with different emotional regulation techniques, with different jobs, with different ideas. The whole idea of a relationship is to cultivate that compatibility. And this may sound a little strange to a lot of people because we sort of look for our perfect match. But the thing with relationships is that that is the thing that is being built. And I touch upon this a little bit in my systems video, which I'll leave a link to in the description down below. But essentially, relationships are systems. Relationships are the development of the relationship system. So compatibility between two people is cultivated. And if you are interested in more relationship videos, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel for new videos every single week. So as an example of this, I want you to understand the difference between a computer and a printer, right? They are two separate things. They are not both computers. They are also not both printers, right? The relationship between them is the cable that goes between them, where they can work together, and together they can perform a lot of tasks. And with every computer and with every relationship, there will be different compatibility challenges to overcome. But the fact is, they are a computer and a printer. So the relationship is the cultivation of that compatibility. There will always be compatibility challenges. And sometimes we can get it into our heads that we just need to find someone who's a little less challenging. But the fact is that every single relationship will start in the same way, where you'll have the honeymoon period and challenges don't really raise their heads. But whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the line, there will always be challenges that come up. Something that you never expected, something that you never noticed before, or a challenge that seems insurpassable, unsurmountable. But this is what a relationship is. It's the matter of cultivating compatibility. So the question you may have in your mind right now is, are me and my partner even compatible? The true answer is no. No people are compatible. There are only 2 times when you can be yourself. One is completely alone, and the second is when you're in a room filled with people who look, think, feel, and act exactly like you do. For everything else, you need to learn how to cultivate relationships. And this is true when it comes to romantic relationships. Because you are not this perfectly formed person, you have flaws, you have blind spots, and your partner will bring those out in you. And this can be really uncomfortable. And our brains don't like discomfort. But the truth is that this discomfort is good. This discomfort actually is an opportunity for growth. A lot of people think that challenges are a bad thing, but challenges are a very, very good thing, because every single challenge is the chance for you to be able to grow yourself. You will always be able to learn something from your partner. You will always be able to learn a different idea, a different technique, and you'll be able to expand yourself and your realm of knowledge and your realm of skills and ideas. Relationships are the result of cultivating compatibility, and together you are stronger as people. And the best thing about this is that over time, you both get to reap the benefits of having 2 different skill sets and different ideas joined together for one singular goal. And these challenges are essential for you both to be able to grow in order to move the team forward. If you think about a soccer team, you have strikers, you have defenders, you have midfielders, you have a goalkeeper. If you look at them as the individual parts, then they may not be worth as much. But if you look at them as a team and as their individual skills, in learning to cultivate that compatibility between them, this is what brings the team forward. You can have a team of all-star players, but if they don't work together as a team, then it's going to be useless. So you have to cultivate that compatibility between you both in order for you both to move forward and to achieve your mutual goals. But these are essential relationship skills that need to be built in order to cultivate a thriving relationship between yourself and any partner that you choose to be with. If you do want a deeper dive into relationship skills, then join me on my free relationship bootcamp, where I'll show you the fundamentals on how to build yourself a thriving relationship and turn your relationship around. Click on the link in the description down below to join me today. So there will always be misunderstandings, there will always be challenges, and it can feel sometimes like maybe your partner is not wanting to put in the effort in order to grow the team. But oftentimes, this is where the emotional discords come in. If you think about it this way, your partner entered this relationship with the same goal as you, to grow and cultivate that relationship. And if they're starting to pull away or they don't seem to be putting in the effort, then oftentimes this can be them sort of sitting in silence, not feeling understood and not feeling like their side of the relationship is fully understood yet. And sometimes we can leave these conversations aside thinking that we don't want to cause an argument, but actually avoiding arguments is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make within a relationship. And if you want to deeper dive into that, then I will leave you with this video right here. I'll see you over there.